Everything you want in life begins with one decision: to value yourself. If you want things to change, you have to change. If you want things to get better, you have to get better. That's where it all begins, my friend. See, life is not about waiting for someone else to value you. It's not about waiting for the world to recognize you. It's not about waiting for applause or approval or appreciation. No, the secret is this: you must value yourself first. Because if you don't value yourself, why would anyone else? I want you to imagine something with me. Imagine a diamond lying in the dirt. To the person who doesn't recognize its worth, it looks like just another stone. But to the jeweler who understands value, it's priceless. Now here's the question. Are you treating yourself like a diamond or like just another stone? Most people tragically don't see their own worth. They look in the mirror and see flaws. They count their mistakes. They replay their failures. And slowly, they convince themselves, I'm not worth much. But let me remind you, the value of the diamond is still there, even if no one sees it. The value of your life, your potential, your ability to create, to grow, to change, none of that disappears, even if the world overlooks it. The question is not whether you have value. The question is whether you will recognize it and use it. Now, why is this so important? Because everything in life flows from how you see yourself. If you undervalue yourself, you'll settle for less. You'll accept poor relationships. You'll tolerate low pay. You'll let others walk over you. Not because they are stronger, but because you handed them the permission. But when you begin to value yourself, really value yourself, everything changes. You start setting higher standards. You stop wasting time. You invest in your growth. You demand respect, not with anger, but with quiet confidence. Because here's the truth. The way you see yourself is the invitation you send out to the world. Now, some of you might say, Jim, it's not that easy. You don't know my past. You don't know my mistakes. You don't know the things I've done. You're right. I don't. But here's what I do know. Your past does not define your value. Your past is a teacher, not a jailer. Your mistakes are lessons, not life sentences. A person can fall, stumble, even crawl through the mud. But guess what? The diamond in the dirt is still a diamond. All it takes is recognition. All it takes is cleaning it off. All it takes is seeing what's already there. And that's what I'm asking you to do. Recognize the diamond within you. Let me give you one of the greatest lessons I ever learned. You get paid for the value you bring to the marketplace. And the marketplace pays for value, not time. Now think about that. The marketplace doesn't care how many hours you put in. It cares about the value you bring in those hours. So the starting point is this. If you want to increase your value in the marketplace, you must first increase your value in your own eyes. Because if you don't believe in your worth, you won't invest in yourself. You won't read the books. You won't take the classes. You won't discipline your habits. You won't stretch beyond your comfort zone. But the moment you say, I am valuable, I am worth it, I deserve to grow, that's when the transformation begins. Now let me tell you a little secret. Success is not about chasing money. It's about becoming valuable. Money, recognition, opportunities, they are byproducts. They come to those who first focus on becoming the kind of person who can attract them. So the real question is not, what do I want to get? The real question is, who must I become? And the answer always starts here. I must become someone who values myself enough to grow, enough to change, enough to pursue the best version of me. So, as we begin this journey together, I want you to write this down. 3 simple words. 3 words that can change your life if you let them. I am valuable. Say it to yourself. Say it until you believe it. Say it until it becomes the foundation of every decision you make. Because when you finally value yourself, you stop living small. You stop hiding. You stop apologizing for being who you are. You begin to rise. You begin to grow. And you begin to unlock the incredible potential that has been inside you all along. Remember this. Life does not give you what you want. Life gives you what you believe you're worth. So today, let this be the starting point. Not tomorrow, not someday, but today. Value yourself first and watch the world respond. We get paid for bringing value to the marketplace, not for our time, not for our needs, but for the value we create. That's a principle I learned early in life. And once I understood it, everything changed. You see, once you've learned to value yourself, once you understand your worth, the next step is simple: contribution. Because here's the truth. If you want to go far in life, it's not enough to know your value, you must share it. Your value multiplies only when it is poured into the lives of others. Think about this. The marketplace does not pay you for how hard you work. It pays you for how much value you create. A farmer can spend all day digging holes, but if nothing grows, he earns nothing. But plant seeds, tend them, harvest them, that contribution feeds families and he is rewarded. It's not about activity. It's about productivity. It's about contribution. And contribution comes from the overflow of self-value. When you truly respect yourself, you naturally respect others. When you develop discipline in your own life, you inspire others to do the same. It's a cycle. Your inner growth becomes outer contribution. And that's where wealth, happiness, and fulfillment begin. Here's a secret. Your potential is not unlocked by keeping it to yourself. It's unlocked the moment you serve others. Take your knowledge, share it. Take your skills, use them. Take your strength. You don't lose when you give, you gain. Because giving stretches you, contribution expands you, and it proves your value. Think of the most successful people in the world. They are all great contributors. Some contribute ideas. Some contribute products. Some contribute leadership. But all of them pour themselves into the service of others. And the marketplace rewards them not because of luck, but because of value. Contribution doesn't just make you successful. It builds your legacy. One day, people won't remember what you owned. They will remember what you gave. The time you gave. The love you gave. The wisdom you gave. That's real wealth. That's true value. Don't just stop at valuing yourself. Ask, how can I make my value matter? How can I serve? How can I contribute in a way that makes life better for others? Because in the end, value yourself first, but never stop there. Turn that self-value into contribution and watch how life begins to reward you in ways you never imagined. Now, let's talk about growth. Because here's the truth. If you value yourself, if you understand your worth, the next natural step is to grow, to expand your capacity, to unlock more of the potential that lies inside you. And let me tell you something, my friends. Potential is never fully realized. It's always waiting for more, always asking, what else can you do? Who else can you become? You see, life doesn't give us guarantees, but it does give us opportunities. And those opportunities, they don't wait around forever. You've got to grow into them. Growth doesn't happen by accident. You don't wake up one day suddenly stronger, smarter, and wiser without putting in the work. Growth is deliberate. It's intentional. It's the daily choice to stretch yourself beyond comfort. And here's the key. If you're not growing, you're shrinking. If you're not moving forward, you're falling behind. Because time doesn't stop, the world doesn't stop. So you've got to decide. Will you invest in growth, or will you settle for less? Here's one of life's laws. You cannot attract more than your capacity can handle. If your skills are small, your opportunities will be small. If your thinking is limited, your results will be limited. So how do you increase your opportunities? You increase your capacity. You learn more. You practice more. You discipline yourself more. That's why I say work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Because when you grow, everything you touch grows with you. But let me warn you, growth isn't free. It requires sacrifice. You may have to sacrifice comfort. You may have to sacrifice approval. You may have to sacrifice old habits, old routines, even old friends who don't support your vision. That's the price of growth. But the return is always greater than the cost. Because what you gain is not just more money, not just more recognition. What you gain is capacity. And capacity changes everything. Think of yourself as a garden. If you want the flowers to grow, you've got to plant the right seeds. You've got to water them. You've got to protect them from weeds. Growth works the same way. Every book you read is a seed. Every skill you practice is water. Every disciplined decision pulls out the weeds. And soon, your garden, your life starts producing more than you ever imagined. Here's something important. When you grow, you don't just expand your own life. You expand your influence on others. The more you grow, the more you can teach. The more you grow, the more you can inspire. The more you grow, the more you can give back. That's why personal growth is never selfish. Because the stronger you are, the stronger the people around you become. Your growth becomes their opportunity. Now here's the challenge. Never stop. Never think you've arrived. Never think you've learned it all. Because the day you stop growing is the day you start declining. Life is like climbing a mountain. The moment you stop, gravity starts pulling you down. So keep climbing, keep stretching, keep asking, what's the next level for me? Remember this, growth is not about being the best. It's about being better than you were yesterday. It's about expanding, step by step, moment by moment, until one day you look back and you hardly recognize who you used to be. That's the gift of growth. That's the reward of valuing yourself enough to invest in your potential. Don't wish for things to be easier. Wish to grow stronger, because when you grow, life opens doors you never thought possible. Once you start valuing yourself, once you begin to understand that your time, your energy, your potential, they all matter, then comes the next challenge, protecting that value. Because here's the truth. It's not enough to build value. It's not enough to grow. You must guard it. You must preserve it. You must make sure that the environment you live in and the people you surround yourself with don't drain it away. You've probably heard me say this before. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And it's true. Your environment shapes you. Your friends, your colleagues, your associations, they pull you in their direction. They either lift you higher or they drag you down. If you spend most of your time with people who complain, guess what? You'll start complaining. If you surround yourself with people who make excuses, you'll find yourself making excuses too. But if you walk with dreamers, if you sit with builders, if you listen to achievers, you'll catch their spirit. You'll start to think bigger. You'll start to believe more. You'll start to act differently. Your mind is like a garden. Whatever you plant grows. If you plant weeds, negative talk, gossip, doubt, those weeds will spread. But if you plant seeds, knowledge, encouragement, vision, you'll harvest abundance. That's why your environment matters so much. It's not just about avoiding the wrong people. It's about intentionally seeking the right ones. The ones who challenge you, the ones who believe in you, the ones who remind you of your worth when you forget it yourself. Some of you, right now, you're trying to grow in the wrong soil. You're trying to value yourself in an environment that constantly devalues you. And let me tell you, you can't stay there. You can't afford it. If the environment you're in refuses to recognize your worth, if the people around you try to cut you down every time you rise, you've got to make a change. Now, that doesn't mean you cut everyone out of your life, but it does mean you choose carefully. Because your future is too valuable to be poisoned by the wrong company. Here's a little secret. Sometimes the fastest way to change your life is to change who you spend time with. Want to be healthier? Spend time with people who treat their body with respect. Want to be wealthier? Spend time with people who manage their money wisely. Want to be happier? Spend time with people who radiate joy. Why? Because association is contagious. Energy transfers. Beliefs spread. Habits rub off. And you get to choose. Are you catching strength or weakness? Think about this. Your environment is always teaching you something. The books on your shelf are teaching you. The conversations at your table are teaching you. The shows you watch, the music you listen to, the words spoken in your home. They are shaping your thinking, even when you don't notice. So ask yourself, what is my environment teaching me? Is it teaching me discipline or laziness? Is it teaching me courage or fear? Is it teaching me vision or excuses? You've worked hard to value yourself. You've worked hard to build your confidence, your discipline, your mindset. Don't let the wrong crowd undo it. Don't let the wrong environment drain it. Because here's what I've learned. It's easier to pull someone down than to lift someone up. So you've got to be wise. You've got to guard your heart. You've got to protect your mind. You've got to preserve your value. My friends, success is not just about what you do. It's about where you do it and who you do it with. So be bold. Choose your company carefully. Design your environment intentionally. Because when you protect your value, you multiply your growth. And remember this, your future deserves an environment worthy of your potential. So protect it, guard it, and never let anyone or anything diminish the value you've worked so hard to build. The challenge of leadership is to be strong, but not rude. Be kind, but not weak. Be bold, but not a bully. Be thoughtful, but not lazy. Be humble, but not timid. Be proud, but not arrogant. Have humor, but without folly. If you've come this far, you already understand something crucial. Your life changes the moment you value yourself. But knowing your value is only the beginning. The real transformation happens when you live from your value every single day. Because potential, true, extraordinary potential cannot be unlocked by thought alone. It's unlocked by action, by courage, by consistency, by choosing to live according to the worth you know you hold. To live from value, you must make choices that reflect your worth. Every decision matters. Every habit matters. Every word you speak, every action you take, these are reflections of how much you value yourself. Do you allow negativity to dictate your actions? Do you settle for less than you deserve? Do you postpone your dreams because you fear failure? If you do, you are not living from value. You are allowing circumstance, fear, or the opinions of others to control your life. Living from value means saying, I am worth more. I will act differently. I will live differently. And that, my friends, is the starting point for unlocking your true potential. Living from value is not a single act. It is a lifestyle. It's in the way you treat your body. It's in the way you nourish your mind. It's in the way you cultivate relationships. It's in the way you contribute to others. Because a person who truly values themselves does not cheat, cut corners, or compromise their principles. They honor their time. They honor their commitments. They honor their potential. Let me share something with you. We are what we repeatedly do, and our habits are the footprints of our values. If you want to live from value, examine your daily routines. Are your habits lifting you, expanding your mind, your skills, your capacity, or are they draining you, keeping you small, and maintaining the status quo? Short-term comfort never creates long-term success, but intentional, disciplined habits do. They build momentum. They reinforce your worth. They position you to access your full potential. Living from value is not without challenge. There will be moments of fear, moments of doubt, moments when the easier path tempts you. But the person who unlocks true potential does not let fear dictate their choices. They act despite fear. They step forward even when the path is uncertain. They trust in the value they know exists within themselves. As I like to say, you must take risks to grow. Comfort is the enemy of greatness. When you live from value, you refuse to shrink to fit someone else's comfort zone. You refuse to dim your light so others can feel brighter. You refuse to accept less than you're capable of achieving. Living from value is not selfish. It is generous. The more you live aligned with your worth, the more you are able to contribute to others. And contribution multiplies your impact. It creates influence. It builds legacy. People are drawn to those who value themselves, not because they are arrogant, but because they inspire, because they lead by example, because they show what is possible when someone believes in their own worth. When you live from value, your confidence becomes contagious. Your discipline inspires action. Your courage encourages others to step forward. Your decisions create opportunities, not just for yourself, but for everyone around you. The ripple effect of living from value cannot be underestimated. Your family, your friends, your colleagues, they all feel it. Your life becomes proof that self-value is not only personal, it is transformational. Now, take a moment and ask yourself, am I living in alignment with the value I know I hold? If the answer is yes, continue to expand, contribute, and elevate. If the answer is no, take the first step today. It does not require perfection. It requires intention. It requires commitment. Your potential is waiting. It's not hidden, it's inside you, ready to emerge. But it won't unlock itself. It requires action. It requires courage. It requires living as though you are worth everything you dream of becoming. Your life does not get better by chance. It gets better by change. And the change begins with valuing yourself. The change continues when you live from that value. The change is magnified when you grow, contribute, and protect your worth. So, value yourself first. Live intentionally. Take action that reflects your true worth. Expand your mind, your heart, your capacity. And in doing so, you will unlock your true potential. Your life will transform. Not because someone gave you permission, not because circumstances changed, but because you decided to live from value. And that, my friends, is the essence of success. That is the essence of fulfillment. That is the essence of a life fully lived. You've learned something powerful today. You've learned that self-value is not a luxury. It's the foundation of everything you want in life. Your wealth, your relationships, your happiness, your legacy, all of it begins with how you see yourself. Remember this, you don't need permission from anyone to be great. You don't need approval to pursue your dreams. You don't need validation to recognize your worth. The question is simple. Will you honor yourself? Will you protect your growth? Will you live intentionally and turn your value into action? Because when you do, you unlock doors you didn't even know existed. You attract opportunities that were waiting for the person you are becoming. You inspire others to rise alongside you. So start today. Take the small steps. Build the habits. Guard your environment. Contribute to others. And live each day as the person you were meant to be. Your life does not get better by chance. It gets better by change. Value yourself first, and everything else will follow. The life you've dreamed of is waiting for you, if you choose to step forward and claim it.